What is happening, kind people around the world? Welcome to Big Scott 35. Uh, we will, uh, let's see, 416. Tonight, if you saw the my title of the inside joke of card grading, uh, will we touch on that? Hopefully, Nats man will be joining us. I sent him a little note here. I miss my brother from another mother. Haven't talked to him in a while. I know he's getting back in the swing of things. So I hope everything's good with him. I hope everything's good with everybody else. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. I think it was a pleasant weekend across the country this week. I know here yesterday was nice and sunny for most of the day. Went to a retro toy show, game show. Walked around there. I am very laser focused when it comes to that type of thing. I know what I'm looking for, and I'm not straying too far out of that. It has to be really something that moves the needle for me. Um, and I have also decided when it comes to games right now, I think I'm stopping. I think I'm stopped buying Star Wars figures for right now. Not cards necessarily. I just think I'm putting a hold on all of that. Uh, just trying to get geared up and ready for 3 months from now. Uh, just trying to. I ain't gonna lie. The financial situation that we're in this country right now, it's tough on me. I'm I'm paying about the same as I did for living expenses as I did in Iowa, but the food and everything else, gas, holy smokes, all of that, and I have to go. I'll go to. This might sound crazy, but in 2 weeks, I only went to work for 7 days out there. I work 12-hour shifts. I move here. Now in 2 weeks, I have to go to work 10 times. So that's more gas. So with gas being as high as it is, I have to. That's just another expense. So right now, I'm just trying to. I want to make the most. When I buy a game, even before when I bought a game, I usually sit there and go, "Did I want to buy this or put that money towards something else in my card collection?" And I'm doing that more and more now. So why do that? I have so many games right now. I couldn't play them all. I collect to play them. I don't collect to have them. Oh, look at this. The only one that I'm kind of doing that with is the Dreamcast, Sega Dreamcast system. And I know I'm talking nerdy stuff right now, not really cards, but I just want to tell you all where I'm at a little bit uh, as a collector. Just to let y'all know. Uh, so things make sense when I say things. Uh, Also want to, hey, what's going up, James? Also want to let everybody know is today I watched The Sandlot. So everybody get off my back. I watched it. Now I know why. It came out in 1993. Okay. In 1993, I turned 22 years old. 21, 22. So I believe that is my first year of getting my first house with my friends or my second year. Either way, if anybody knew me at 21 or 22 years old, you know why I'd never seen The Sandlot. Okay. Uh, Mike, it's funny you say that. So Mike uh, threw up. The stream was very clear today, kind of like a CSG slab. So I was fiddling around the other day uh, in Streamlabs trying to get some things straight uh, for something else I was doing, and I noticed I was only streaming in uh, like 480 or something, 720. So I pumped it up. I was like, and as soon as I did that, I was like, and I did a video, I was like, holy cow, it's night and day. I'm ready for the new Legend of Zelda. Yeah, Maximus, I am with you on that one. But first, I will, the Jedi game is what so I'm going to buy games if I want to play them. And it's got to be something I want to play first day, like Zelda or the other. You're 720 currently. Okay. So I was like 480 before, and I didn't want to push much past 720. So when I have other people on or I have a baseball game on, I'm not bogging down my system. I do have a very nice computer, but I can't have so much going on at one time, especially streaming. Streaming takes a lot from your system if you didn't already know that. So, I don't want to get too wild and crazy about that. I hope, again, welcome everybody, Battery, Maximus Pumpernickel. Is this your first time on here, Maximus? I like the name, the Maximus of the Pumpernickel. It's a big piece of bread there. So, the reason I came up with I'm really watching when I was buying because I'm looking at some bigger cards now. I want to get some quality stuff, more autos. I really have passed on a couple of Pino Alonsos this week that I really, really wanted, not needed, but wanted. So I'm not having FOMO. I'm not worried about not getting them. They'll come back around. But that has also brought up, that's a little segue of what I'm talking about. And I hope somebody either listening or watching later will get this. The inside joke of card grading. I have talked about this for years now since I've had the channel. I feel like card grading is a joke. It's an inside joke that many of us are in on. And what do I mean by that? Do we need it? No. Do we want it? Yes. Does it help us in certain ways? Tremendously. But to sit there and make, okay, Max, I got you. I understand. We have a lot going on. A longer one like this does, take away. I know I do long videos because I'm long-winded. But anyway, so I'm looking at Pete Alonso's, right? I've been searching since 2019 National. I have one of them. They have 3 autographs that they released at the Topps Q&A that year. 3 versions of Pete Alonso in the 1986 Topps on-card autos. I picked one up at the show the next day afterwards for like $150. And the guy that was selling it to me, he knew deep down, but it wasn't, there's only 50 of each. They're hard. They're hard to find. One popped up is on eBay right now of the other version. I keep finding the same version I have. There's another version that's popped up, but it is graded. There's only 50 of these cards in existence. I don't think they're numbered, but it's just known there's only 50 of them. So he has it graded as a 10, 1 pop. All this I need to put into this bag. And for $3,000, he just lowered it from $3,500 to $3,000. Pete Alonso. Pete, outside of winning the home run contest, has really not done anything. He's been a one-time All-Star. He does, top 5 in home runs every year, but he hasn't led the Mets to anything. I love Pete Alonso. I'm a huge Mets fan, but I'm also realistic. He can keep it at that. He can low. He needs to lower it probably about another. What's up, Doctor Exclusive? He needs to lower it probably another 2,000, 3,000 more. I mean, not 3,000, but I can. I know I'm going to have to pay up for those cards. I don't care if you have it graded. I've always said it before. I'm buying the card, and everybody says that. But all of a sudden, the card is already, it's a minimum card. It's 50 of that card out there. There's 150 total, but 3 different versions. So that's 50 each. You get it graded a 10, doesn't change if it was an 8. That there's only 50 of those cards out there, autographed, that I can purchase. So to me, it doesn't make a hell of beans if it's a 6 or a 10. It's a card. I want the card. And I guarantee you, I have a 6 right now on a Father's Day, 2019, which is numbered to 50 or 75, whatever. I can't tell it's a 6. You hold it arm's length. I cover up to 6. You can guess what the grade is all day. And that's my problem with grading. Love the grading process. I am addicted to it. I blame Mike Moynihan for that. Supported by, and then now it's supported by Mike O, my habit. He's my enabler. So I blame him. But I love it. And it has reasons. But I think those reasons in this I know during COVID, we have really lost sight and the craziness that it is to get cards graded. I got this card right here. Rafi Devers. I got this graded because I wanted to know. And also it's a thicker card. And I have Boston Red Sox fans that I'm friends of. So I knew if I got this graded, that one of those guys, I do actually, any other of those guys would want to buy this. It's a numbered out of 99. It's a 10. So if one was a 7, it's still out of 99. And I talked about this the other day. I touched on it. So we're thinking out of 99 it's a short print. To me, when it's a gold number this year from 2023 cards, we keep talking about that they're printing them to the moon and back. So the 2023 is still a short printed card. We our mindset is now so set on this 99, and then I hear it pop. Well, guess what? That pop's only going to go up for most cards, unless it's a 101 or numbered low, and somehow you'll see 5s out there with a pop of 7. That type of thing. It really gets to me. Should it be a cost a little bit more? Yes. I'm not the one to police it. I'm just airing out an opinion tonight, a little bit of a rant. I was hoping Natsman loves graded cards, but I'm not one that has to have a 10. And I feel like, I don't know if I'll get much put, but I feel like people that really, really push for gotta have 10s, are driving, trucks jacked up or sports cars at the age of 50. I want the card. I collect the card. I don't collect numbers. I don't collect flips. I've touched on that. I showed 3 different on one Wednesday. I told you on Wednesday, I tried to tear the internet down. I showed SGC, CSG, PSA. And guess what? They don't fight each other in my boxes. They sit up on the shelves and they live happily ever after. I have, Mike Moynihan calls it a Frankenstein. collection. I agree with that 100%. I have Mint. I have GMA. I have what other ones? I got the other Canadian one because of my hockey cards. I want the card, man. I'm not going to pay crazy prices for it. I'm just, and I don't have FOMO. I don't, you know, guess what, James? You like vintage. Mike buys vintage. Mike buys stuff from early 1900s, 1800s. Guess what? They're still out there. Those cards are still out there. Don't have FOMO. They're going to be there. You might have to be patient. Uh, yeah, James, I can tell you, and you watch a lot of these guys. And I've been watching more and more people with just showing cards that they're getting reveals. I guess it's a term I'm looking for. And I hear so many of them. Do I pop this and send it in? Do I pop it and send it somewhere else? Uh, I, I don't know. PSA now it seems to be grading harder. What's up, Carbs? I got our package ready to send out Monday, man. Just to let you know. I graded cards. uh, so and I don't have a problem with any of this. I don't. But to me, it's just I've done it one time because I got one that me and JT looked at. It was a real head scratcher. A black lighted. If you really want to see imperfections in your card, put it under a black light. Have a black light with a magnifying glass in your area. You turn that on, and most of the time, you'll see any bitty scratches on the surface, dents in the corners, discoloration. It'll show you a whole different world. It's a technique that bouncers use to look at fake IDs. It's the same thing. It just you can see every little imperfection. You don't need anything strong. And I usually don't do that. I just eyeball it. I look at it. If I haven't, I'll usually wipe off the chrome ones because I just do. And you get those phantom nail things that come back. That's the only thing that I've noticed with these different companies is the nail indentions that all of a sudden appear in a card. And do I think every card gets treated well at these places? No. I have a feeling they get dropped on the floor, on the corners, and all this other stuff, and they're quiet about it and hopes people just won't say anything. PSA doing 1 million cards a month. They just don't care. they don't. They just want your money, and we just keep giving it. I've said it before. If PSA was a restaurant, if PSA was Chipotle would be out of business next week. It's just that simple. But everybody loves them. It's the go-to for everybody. My eyes are more reliable than the number on a slab if wearing my glass. Yeah. And this is a great point here, Maximus. I enjoy getting a 10 graded myself than I do buying a 10 LOL. I don't LOL at the end of that. I've stated that before. It's just something about having a card in your collection, popping, opening a pack, getting that 10. That is just, I feel the same way, Maximus, 100%. I mix different grade companies in my collection, but my cards still match. It focus, saturation, centering. Yeah, so you have you know what you're looking for when you buy those, right? So in reality, do you need, I know a grading company helps, but do you need a grading company, a grade to tell you that? I know your cards look awesome, Battery. I've seen them. If anybody hasn't looked at the Battery, he's got an awesome collection of Braves. Braves has a great history. It's just awesome to look at. And he's not lying. He's got some nice cards in there, a lot of them. It's a great. Hey, this is an awesome point. Awesome point. People, but see, this is the point I'm making. People have decided in our marketplace that PSA is the most financially reliable flip, and the card doesn't mean anything. It's the flip, and only the card means something according to the flip, right? I should say. So that's you're exactly right. But let's see, how can I word this? Even though that being said, you know, you wouldn't go put your money in the same bank that closed up in California last week, right? Or last month. You'll find another bank. Banks in Iowa. When I moved out there, I could not find a national bank. I've been banking with Bank of America for almost my whole adult life. I go to Iowa, and they had the closest one was in another town almost an hour away. They closed that, and then I had to go 2.5 hours to Des Moines if I wanted to go to a bank. Now, we don't go to banks often for much, but if you want to pull out a few dollars, you have to go to the bank, and if you don't want to pay a fee. So I ended up getting a loan and everything to buy my house in Iowa through a small bank. And I asked what was going on. Well, back in the 80s, during the farming crisis, the big banks would not give loans. Wouldn't give loans to the farmers. Just wouldn't. They would not take that risk. But the small banks would. And so all those people, those memories last a long time. All those banks had to close shop and go home because nobody banked with them. So you want to talk about something, there's something that's a little bit more than a Chipotle sandwich. You're talking about people that with farms and their livelihood. Now they have other issues with big farming out there, corporate farming. But I'm just telling you how it is in other places. In other areas in this world, you would not put up with what PSA is doing. Now, I buy PSA secondary. I haven't sent anything to PSA in a while. I have a Pete Alonso over here, one of my autos that I'd like to get graded, put in my display. But I keep going back and forth on, man, do I really want to give PSA my hard-earned money when I love CSG? CSG is my favorite. If I had to pick one, you told me you can only buy one flip. It's CSG. All day, every day, twice on Sunday. And it doesn't hurt. It's the cheapest one out there because people we buy the flip. So that is how we look at things. Also, with this is a good point. This goes back to hashtag watching the games. I have a group that I talk to that we talk about this quite a bit. I am a CSG influencer, Mike. We don't know how much people actually know of the players other than looking at maybe some stats, but they look at all these graphs and charts to see what cards are going up and going down. They look at see who was drafted early. Not everybody is like Filmington and look at fly ball rates and speed of exit velocity and all that stuff of futures. Which even that is very limited. I know a company in Atlanta still won't do business with a specific bank because they refused a loan to them in 1961. Right. And it's probably a family-owned business, and families have long memories. You want to do what's right for business, but if somebody else is going to do what's right to you, I tell you right now, the NHL loves Upper Deck. Now, money changes a lot of minds. But right now, I don't know what that dollar amount would have to be for Fanatics to come in and go, we have the rights from Upper Deck. I know Upper Deck is having some struggles. Some of it is they can't get their product out. But, there's Upper Deck was the only company when they came out of their last strike that did business with them. Now, a lot of it had to do with they didn't have anybody else to do business with. I'm talking about Upper Deck. But, they do some other things, and they have a very good relationship between the two. I just, when I was looking at these cards, and I was trying to get prices for that, going back to that Devers. I talked to Mike, talked to JD, who was one of the co-owners of Card Hedge, and he's a Boston fan. He gave me a price, which actually was what I was thinking. But the person I'm talking to, I'm offering it much lesser because he's a friend, and we want to do a trade. And that card doesn't belong to me. It belongs, when I got it graded, I was thinking this belongs to a Devers Red Sox collector. I ain't dumb. I ain't gonna just hand it to you. It is a green on 99, graded 10 on the flip. But to me, I always hear the greatest stuff helps you know where our starting place is later. I just bring up JD. Congratulations, JD, sports card collector / dad / soccer person / 1,000 subscribers. So that's a benchmark that we look for on here, and that's also for JD. I watched Bobby Witt Jr. for the first time this weekend against the Braves. That dude's a real deal, fast as hell. Yes, he is. And speed can't be. You don't really coach speed. He knows how to use it. What's up, Lou Rock? I liked your show on IRP last week or the week before. Like that. Also, congratulations on your pool, Lou. Lou Rock is a great guy, great dad, and a great person in this community. And a fellow Clemente collector with me. Got me turned on. Showed me a Clemente table at the National last year that I'm glad I didn't find till I think you showed it to me on Saturday. Yeah. So I need to find out. And ended up being a guy that I played. He coached the team I played against in high school. He coached the neighboring high school team. I said my baseball coach, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. So that was pretty cool all around. But I just want to get those thoughts out there. I didn't mean to rant. Yeah, and I've been saying that, Mike, in one of my chat groups, I follow Kelenic for the Mariners. I'm one of those guys. He got traded from the Mets, so I don't hate watching because I wish him all the best, but I keep one eye on because I did not like the trade. Yes, we got Diaz out to trade, but we ain't won nothing. I hate trading future away for something that's an if. And at that time, he still has trouble pitching back-to-back days. But anyway, Kelenic is playing ball this year. And these guys, Franco, Witt, what do they all have in common? Oh, they played during the minors during COVID. Really. And I've been saying this all along. Let's give these guys a couple of years. They were marked to come up now. Yeah, I know they are, and I got a bunch, and I'm holding on. I'm a collector, man. I'm sure there's Mariners fans that are buying them like hotcakes. But anyway, so these guys that came up in the minors and they were scheduled. These teams have schedules for these players to make the majors. The guys that 1%. Hey, Hitman, what's going on, brother? Can't wait to hang out with you in 3 months. These guys are on a schedule with these major league teams to make it at X year, right? They got a plan for them. And a lot of those plans sucked during that 1 month season. And then guys got 2 seasons almost of no games playing at a second site. And thank goodness now they've gotten together in the minors and they're going to pay them a little bit more. It's still not at the low ranks a living wage, but it's helping them supplement with, team housing or getting fed. You want these kids to stay in shape, and you're going to give them $22,000 a year, and they're going to pay them year round. That's what they said, and I'm just like, okay. But anyway, and then they talked to 2 guys and said that only out of 160 guys in the minors, only 40 of them on that whole thing have a shot to even be in the majors. So they probably need to get rid of a couple of teams, and so those guys can get it a little bit more hands on. But back to what I was saying. Now these guys have played in the majors a couple of years. Man, Cronenworth is balling. These guys, they might not be all-stars year. Now, I think Kelenic has got a good shot, but he plays on a team that he might not even be the best player on. He might be the third best. But, man, these guys will be instrumental in what these teams do well. So you got these guys like Bobby Witt. That Royals team, they have to build from within. That's their money. They can't really go with outside and get players. So hopefully he sticks around and structures his contract where maybe he can be there next Salvador Perez. Some guy that's there a long time. He's got a good character build, good pedigree. So I feel that's a lot. I do pick up a lot of Wits. I pick up Kelenic, Witt. Okay, Danner. Okay, man. Yeah, accident. I hope everything's okay. But anyway, so back to what I was saying. So I do pick up Cronenworth. I do pick up Kelenic. Now I only get like their rookie stuff or something that looks really good. Cronenworth, I got a lot of his rookie stuff. Mike knows another guy that's on my radar is J.J. Bleday. I thought when he got moved to the Marlins, he would have a good shot of starting the season with them. I don't know if he's hurt or what's going on with him, but he was in the same class with Adley Rutschman, another young player that's blowing up right now on a team that's over 500. He's just balling out. So we got another young group that's behind the Soto, Acuna, Tatis group that has good ball players in it. And I'm stressing you can't live on their rookie seasons alone. It's a marathon, not a race, as a friend of mine used to say. We're like, marathon is a race, dude, but a sprint. So a lot of these people look at rookie seasons and go, well, they're no good. They're no good. I mean, this kid at St. Louis, Acuna, when you get hurt in your legs, battery, you use a lot of lower half in baseball, and he'll be all right. Acuna, we know what Acuna is. I wasn't worried about him to begin with. So, but we do have this year's classes. The kid at St. Louis finally didn't get on base for a game. He's going to be good. He's come out of nowhere this year. He was on some people's radar, but not like this. Gunnar Henderson's not having the year that everybody thought he was going to have so far. We're not even the first month yet. So, so I'm just telling you, when it comes to these younger players, and you are, I don't want to say speculating is a better term. Uh, that's hold on to them for a little bit. If you see something that maybe some guy that just watches numbers, you love the game, you'll see stuff that guys that watch numbers don't see. I don't want to say, yeah, Gunner's over. I don't want to say it's an eye test because there is numbers out there that will show you what they are. But it could take a coach. It could take, there's been pitchers that were with the wrong pitching coaches. They got traded. Something clicked with the new coach, a whole new career. Um, Same thing with hitting coaches, just in a bad situation, don't get along with, where they're living. It just takes a lot. And, don't be so fast to give up on these guys. And, uh, I collect rookies. That's why I bought 2 boxes of jumbo. I like to get 2 boxes of jumbo in the midseason if it's not too crazy. But look at the jumbo prices. The jumbo is your best bet to get color, right? So the jumbo this year started out at kind of normal. Was it 170 or something like that, Mike? 160 something. Now they're up to 220, 230. So they're hard to get your hands on right now. I hate to keep blaming breakers, but it just seems like stuff before I can get, and I can go to my Walmart and get Series 1 all day. But if you do that, get the hangers. Hanger boxes, again, gives you the best. They're almost as good as the jumbo when it comes to, they shot up. But anybody got anything else? I don't want to go back to, I said my piece on grading. I still love grading. I'm not going to stop grading. I am slowing down. I'm being more particular on what I send in. And not real quick. I've talked about this before. People have asked me time and time again since I do Frankenstein. When I pick stuff to send in to grade, CSG, I got an order that I'm sending in. You have a few cases still, Mike? Okay. When you have, I got a CSG order, me and another fella, 30 cards. So I just sent it in, my PC. I got some old school, actually WWE cards that I'm excited to get graded. I picked them up cheap at a show here in Raleigh. The show that sucked, but I did find these on the cheap. And then doing more and more research on them. If I was a flipper, I would be very happy, and I wouldn't be sending them to CSG. Yeah, Mike, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm glad you put that up there. CSG is, purely that. It's that. I'm upset that they don't do Star Wars cards, because that's where I would send my Star Wars cards. CSG, that they get the bulk of my submissions. So if they were cheaper, I would do more with them. But I'm with JD. I think they should be cheaper. All right. There you go, Mike. Anybody else have anything to plug? Plug away. I don't care. And people that I've given wrenches and stuff to, don't do anything to people that do plugs or self promotion unless it's girls, or men. I'm not going to fight it. But back CSG, PC, SGC. I do a lot of Star Wars. I do a lot of my sets with them that I started. Am I totally happy with them? No, they make mistakes. I'm I wish they took more time with the cards to be a little bit more consistent on how they do them. Uh, as fast as they do them, they don't tell me you shouldn't make mistakes. Take an extra day or two to go back over them. I don't need them back the next day. Um, that is one thing I have. That's my one problem with them. Now, do they make a lot of mistakes? No. And do they fix them? Hell yeah. They're great. They're the best service people out there. Peter gets that knocked down. They say about PSA, and I've heard this from a couple of very smart people in this industry, people that run things in this industry. PSA knows that customer service does not pay the bills, and they do so much money on that they don't care about customer service. They care about it as much as they need to care about it. So needs do come down to price, and SGC. I think if SGC came down just a little bit, um, that'd be okay. PSA, they got the new cheaper for another. You got to have 20 cards, and you got to be part of their program. That's the other part I don't like. So you got to have 20 cards to send in for 16 cards, and I think I did the quick math. It's like, what is that? Like $320. That's a lot still for. I mean, I'm sorry, that's a lot for me as a person that just wants to get some Gary Carters, and at $16, that's still a little too pricey for me. But it'll be good for the flippers out there, the range that they have it in. It's not a big. It's not bad. They are, Mike. Mike, this is, and they know it. And somebody said that they did this program to try to steal from. They're just trying to put other people out of business. I don't think so. I think their backlog is way down now, and they want to keep that backlog. It's guaranteed money. It's money that they have in their coffers. If they're putting out 1 million a day, and their backlog is 10 million, and it takes them 3 months to get through them. So they want a backlog, that X amount. I think that's what they want. They want to have that backlog. They know if I have 3 million cards back there and I do 1 million cards a month, I have the next 3 months taken care of. We know how much money we have. It's that simple. I want to say Cardi B did that very analysis 2 years ago, and it made when he said it, it clicked in my brain, and I was sticking with it. It was a great analysis of that, and I think that's what they're doing again. Is they just want to keep that backlog. They opening up a new building. They got plenty of people to support it. They just need the cards. They need the cards. Now, can PSA goes? I think SGC can go lower than PSA because they don't have the overhead. Yeah, I saw it, Knights, man. I hope everything's all right, brother. Just miss my brother from another mother, man. So this right here, Mike put up here. Grading, in my opinion, is way more necessary for vintage. Modern is kind of silly, but I still love it, and I do it all the time. Exactly. Now, vintage, I would be happy if it was. I like vintage because I don't buy vintage. So a guy that doesn't buy a lot of vintage, I feel more comfortable buying graded cards vintage. So when I see a two, I know what a two is, right? But I can see there's not all twos are created equal. Not all threes are created equal. Just like Battery said, I like them, when I see it, I like to see all four edges. Does it necessarily need to be centered? No, but if it's card that has 4 white edges. I like to see all 4 white edges. I don't need sharp corners, but I love to see the. I don't want to see whiteness taken out of the person's face. Paper loss. There are certain things I look for as well um, when it comes to that. So I like that as a starting point. But when it comes to we we kind of put that same thing on the new cards and the price differences between a 2 and a 7. I the guys at IRP claim that almost all cards get pulled out of a pack at an 8. Um, I think there's some truth to that. I don't think card manufacturers make cards with grading in mind at all. I think they manufacture cards for the sake of selling cards, and that's it. Um, so when you pull cards like Prism is terrible, or a couple of years of uh, tops have been horrible. When it's all centering, I just don't think they even registers with them with quality control. They want to make sure, you get 7 in a pack and one, you know, color or card is flipped backwards in each pack or whatever. Then that to them is the quality issue. They don't want to fold it up in half or nothing. But as long as it's not wrinkled and creased and not off cut, that's where the difference. I think what quality we put in it is a little bit different than what manufacturers want to do one thing and one thing only. Is make as much money as they possibly can. Nat Turner might be a collector, which a guy with a lot of money can be a lot of different things. But he wants to make more money. Nat Turner can care less what cards I have in my apartment. I can tell you that. I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but when he sees this video, and I know he will, he's going to want to come by and Winston-Salem and check me out. But that's neither here nor there. When Tops and these other fanatics, I do like. I've been saying this. I give praise where praise is due. Tops so far this year is winning. Tops has done very, very well. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. And I think quality control in the 80s was different than quality control in the 60s. And now quality control is different than what it was in the 80s. A lot of it has to do with packaging, getting the right stuff out. That's more of their quality control. But at Tops this year, I got asked in our one of my group chats. I don't want to drop names or anything, but why is Big League such a thing this year? Well, we've only had 2 releases so far in 2023, have we not? For 2023 cards, the other ones are last year or 2 years ago releases. So opening day was always big because you got to see what was going to be in Series 2, what rookies were going to be in Series 2. It was kind of a preview. Well, Big League is kind of the same way. Mike opened up a few boxes, and I got some rookies out of it that won in the first one. Some rookies that were some Brett Beatty's. I like the card. I like the base card the way they are. I like the inserts. I don't know if Fanatics has any push in Tops yet. But this year, in both products that have been released, the inserts have been awesome. Yeah, Big League is cool this year. I want to, for an entry level or a person on a fixed income, low income, little kids, you can't be ashamed of buying Big League. I got a blaster over here that I picked up. I still on my opening 1 pack a day. Yeah, that's another good point, Mike. And I don't know if it's fanatics or what, but they got a lot of guys into the new uniforms, and a lot of guys that got signed late into their new uniforms. We couldn't get that last year. We couldn't get that in the I almost said extended, but in I want to call it Series 3, but in the updated set. They could in holiday they were, but updated they won't. Uh, they I think they're a little it's paying a little bit more attention to detail. And I don't know if that's Fanatics influence or Tops just doing it right now. Uh, I one thing I'm not liking. I'm with Victor on this one. Uh, yeah, I didn't hate it in the past years either, but this year, the only thing I don't like that I disagree that they do with Big League, with it being $50 a box for kids and people that don't have the money to buy the big stuff, is put chase cards in it because that makes the vultures want to chase it a little bit. But this year seems like they stayed off of it for whatever reason. In years past, I know that in opening day was being bought off the shelves pretty hard because of the super short prints. Uh, I hopefully I get an influencer in my box. I don't understand that set. It should be an Allen and Ginter set. I don't understand it in Big League. It really doesn't have a place in Big League because you're making it for kids, and I don't understand how YouTube influencers. Now, if you do see Ryan Card Collector 2 around kids, he does that, and Jeff Wilson does too. They pay attention to those kids, but I think more of Allen and Ginter when I think of a set like that than I do Big League. I think if you talk to most kids on the street, they're not going to know who either one of those guys are. Um, you know, I, Again, me and Mike talk about this all the time. When you go to a show, I bet you a very, very small percentage of the people at that show watch any YouTube baseball card videos. I really, you, we think everybody does because we watch them, but I think it's a very small grouping that actually, not everybody are degenerates like us. We got to be fed this in these big morsels of entertainment along with the cards itself. And I don't only watch. Uh, yeah, watch. You know, it as much as we dog Jeff Wilson, rightfully so for most, but he's buyer beware, and shame on you if you listen to him tell you to buy anything, right? Hashtag watch the games. Uh, I think you should have learned pretty quickly. Uh, he doesn't know much about sports, how it works, how hobby and sports work. Um, I, I would be interested to see if he ran a betting YouTube channel, how many people would listen to it? Because you're doing the same thing. You're putting money in these cards and doing basically the same thing with them. But if he was running a betting site, like here are the top 10 teams this week, I just don't know how that would go over. Uh, but for some reason, people listen to him for cards, and I can't fault him for other people. I watched him when he first started. I didn't understand how he went from 10 subscribers to all of a sudden having 3,000 subscribers in an overnight, and his YouTube pushed you to his uh, his Instagram pushed you to his Twitter. His Twitter pushed you to his web page, and his web page pushed you back to his YouTube channel. It was like this vicious, because I was trying to find out who this guy was and why he wouldn't answer any questions put by me or anybody else that seems. I'm not saying I'm a know-it-all, but I have basic questions when I hear things, and he wouldn't answer them. And all of a sudden, I started getting crushed by his minions. That's when I was like, "Who is this guy, and what does he do?" I will say, I wish listening to influencer Big Scott would be making bank about now. Yeah. And when you said that last night, I was hitting my Kellenic spot, my box of graded Kellenics that I have, and my autos. And yeah, if I wanted to, I could probably take that little handful right now and have a nice little cushion for the national. But I can't do it. I just can't not do it. I don't know if is that a bad thing or a good thing. I don't know. I never had those issues until this last few years. And I don't know if I have an issue and it doesn't bother me. I don't stay up late at night going, man, should I sell my stuff? No, it just doesn't. Now, do I have some stuff that maybe I should have sold? Yeah, of course. Yeah, the guys are no longer heard of. And Kellenic could go away next year, and I'm sitting with, I got some nice coasters. But then I could sit back and go, man, I remember when this guy was in a Mets organization. He was a top prospect. They're bringing up Beatty Monday. And here's my question. So they got their debut stuff. Beatty played a handful of games last year. Is he getting to wear the debut thing on his jersey this year? He's a rookie. I'm not understanding. I didn't see if I don't think Alvarez got to wear it the other day. They didn't make a tops now for Alvarez, but he played a little bit last year. But he's a rookie. And they need to bring up Ronnie Marciano or whatever. I sold a couple of Kellenics I had when he got hot in spring training. He got hotter last year. At the end of last year, I told people, watch out. The Kellenic is looking like Kellenic they would. They put him down in the order. They had J-Rod going off. They had other guys on that team he don't have to be the guy on that team. He can bat seventh. Late down left-handed hitter. He doesn't have to be the guy on that team. He just doesn't. They got enough of those. He can just play really good outfield and crush in the order. Now, will they move him up? Probably. He'll probably end up being a number 2 hitter, I would imagine. Playoffs start tomorrow. We need the official Big Scott Stanley Cup champion pick. My gosh. I was looking at that the other day. My biggest thing is, and somebody brought up, when was the last time we didn't have the Penguins in the playoffs? I know that I know you were watching IRP the other night, Doc. I saw you on there. I was watching the replay. Them or having Ovechkin, it's a little bit different atmosphere. I'm pulling for the Leafs. I don't think it's going to happen. I also wouldn't mind seeing Bobbles happy with Dallas, but I don't think that's going to happen either. It's usually the big, strong teams. If you bet against Boston, how do you bet against Boston, Doctor? How? Nobody can beat them at any consistency in a regular season, and now you got to beat them 4 out of 7. Good luck. But that starts tomorrow night, and it's a little bit different how they're doing it this year. It looks like, Doc, where so one leg is playing the first 2 nights, and the other leg is playing the next 2 nights, and it's all on ESPN. It looks like. I I didn't even know ESPN had enough announcers left to do that many games. So interesting. I can't wait for it to watch. Playoff hockey can be a little slow. Yeah, I'm with you, Jeff. It just, man, you want to see the best player do something, and this is their season to shine right now. I just think NBA sucks so bad. That they're I think they're finally getting their due a little bit of falling off because people tired of watching. Oh, it's on TNT as well. I was wondering because I kept seeing things for ESPN, and I was wondering how that was going to work. Well, been on for an hour. Man, have I been babbling. 1,001 shots in a round one. Yeah. Hey, Carlos. How you doing, brother? Carlos has been hitting on. I just want to say, Carl, I almost put it in your Instagram today. When it comes to wrestling, you do have a type, and it's an impressive type. Bravo on who you choose to collect. Oh, baseball card, come on, how you doing? What's up, fellas? Grading is a losing proposition for most folks. It is. So some people have the nicest coaster collections around. Stuart Skinner gets hot. Oh, we got the hockey going now. I should have started. Maybe I'll have Doc on to talk probably during the playoffs, or we get closer. Doc has a Sunday night to get on. We can talk some hockey one night on here. So till next time, like, share, tell a friend. Have a dad tomorrow. We'll be recording the baseball, only baseball, no cards. We'll be talking about the Cardinals and what's been going on the last week in baseball. Till then, like, share, tell a friend, and subscribe if you haven't. It doesn't cost you anything. And welcome to all my new people. It's been great having a discussion with y'all tonight. So till then, we'll see you.